Hey there, this is Derek Henry, and in this video we're going to walk through a demonstration of the Lite version of the XLEV8 Add-in. This is a free lifetime version. It has 10 really helpful features that are going to help you save a lot of time when it comes to formatting. So there are fill colors, font colors, number formats, borders, and cell styles. Those are the 5 things we're going to walk through with 2 macros apiece that help you run them. You can set your own keyboard shortcuts to these. You can save your favorite formats and run them very quickly. I see people save over 20 hours a year just using these because formatting is something people do a lot. So first up here is toggling the cell highlight color. Okay, I'm using a shortcut that I've set to it. Goes to yellow, then I press it again, goes to orange, then red, then purple, then green, then back to nothing. You can set whatever colors you want. And how you're going to do that is with this second one. This is one of the options. So we're going to run a macro called highlight color picker. Okay, and this shows you, rather than toggling through, this shows you several different options in a pick list. So enter 1 for yellow, 2 for orange, etc. Now how you would set your own is just set it the normal way you would, put yellow, put blue, green, whatever, and then put option X here and follow the instructions. Put X and then the color, maybe it's purple, like I did earlier. Default 4, and it's really important to enter this string exactly like this because it knows to set this name and the color behind the active cell's fill color to 4 here for purple. Okay, so one of the many ways that you can use to set colors. Now, if you set your default option here, let's say that you put in 4 and we set that. Okay, then 4 is going to be the default, so you don't have to press anything else. On other pickers, that might be something that's really helpful. The second way that you can save time on formatting is with the font color. So this is one where we can enter this. I'm using a search box here. That's another way that you can run things using Control-Shift-W as the default shortcut. Now you're probably not going to see as many menu options because in the Lite version there are only 10, so it's a lot more limited on what you can run. But toggle font color is what we want to use here. Notice we've got the full name in there and it's showing us the description and the help URL. You can set your shortcut here, and you can set a UI shortcut, which will show up in the ribbon. It'll be in the top left here. We'll show that in a second. You can run it there as well. So what this is going to do, when you type in the full name, notice it is toggling the font color. Okay, if we run it again, it goes to blue, then purple, then green, then gray, and then back to whatever your default is, your automatic. Okay, so the other way to run that is to set one of your shortcuts here. Obviously I have many more because this is a full version, but you can put them there if you want to use a ribbon as well. But keyboard shortcuts are much quicker. Now in the same way, there is a picker behind this. So if you wanted to run the font color picker, this is how you would set it, very much like with the highlight color. So run option X, whatever the active cell's font color is in there, it'll capture that. Just give it a label like you see right here, and you can save that as your favorite. So, or you can run this and say, hey, we always want to put blue in there. Well, then I would probably put 2, set as a default, and then it will always go to blue for you. Third is number formats. And you can set any number format. If you have a really specific one you want, maybe it's 3 decimals, maybe it's got commas or something. I'm using a shortcut to run this to go from general to add commas, to add dollar signs, add percent with a decimal, go to dates because dates are just numbers formatted as dates, then text, and then back to nothing again. But you can set whatever 5 formats you want, and how you would do that is with the number format picker. Okay, so this one down at the bottom here, I'm going to run that, and not only do you have your defaults at the bottom, 1 through 5 like those other couple ones, you have several other options in this pick list. We've got accounting format, we've got percentage, we have a long date, general, text, invisible, which is a really helpful one if you want to hide some things from your users, just to keep it out of the way, but still have the numbers be able to be summed or do math on. Helpful there as well. So you would set your default using option X. Again, it works very similarly across all the other macros here. Whatever number format code like you're seeing right here is behind the active cell, it's going to save that. Okay, so you can see right here all these previews. Here are some of the ones that I've set. That's a kind of crazy code there, but it looks really nice, so I use that. Another one you do is borders. Borders are a huge pain. Okay, so if you have several borders that you're using, notice in these are the defaults I've set. On the bottom, the double border, the big block, the red and the pink, those are some that I use all the time to help things stand out. So you would run a macro called toggle border. Okay, now I've got mine set to Q. I just did that, so I forgot what that was, but we're going to run this. And notice at the very bottom it adds that. If we run it again, okay, it adds the top and the bottom. Now borders are a little weird because if you have 1 or more cells selected, they can work a little bit differently because of the way that the inside and the outside borders work. If we run this again, notice it puts the box around it, then it toggles it to red, then it toggles it to pink, and then it goes back to having nothing, okay? So set your 5 favorite borders. You can use the border picker here. So notice I have this one that has dashes here. And let's run the shortcut box here. And the border picker is what we want to run. Now this is a little bit different, okay? So you can set your custom one with option X, but you can also, just like you see right here, so this is an example of what you would enter, X, and then bottom border, that's just a label that you give it in default 1. Notice that those, here's the labels that we're using. I put pig fence down there. I guess that was kind of funny from before. You can also enter what type is it, and then a style, and then if you wanted to, run it that way. I like to use the custom ones because those then become the toggles, and I really don't use this one much, but the toggles can be really helpful. And then lastly is cell styles, okay? So if you want to put a lot of these things together, the fills, the borders, the font colors, all of that, not a lot of people use styles, but for those that do, this can be really helpful. So notice in this cell set here, we have no cell styles going on. We're going to use the toggle first, and notice that we have, it looks a lot like this one. We run it again. Now it's going to look like the second one, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth, and then back to no style, okay? Now that's the toggle. Just like all these other ones, there's also the picker. So if we want to use the cell style picker, we can do that as well. And we have all of these defaults that we can set. So set whatever different format settings you want, just like all the other ones, then run this with option X here, and then it will set it for you. So the idea is to reuse your effort over and over again, making shortcuts, making formats really, really easy with shortcuts. If you found this helpful, please share with a friend. Again, this is a free add-in that you can use, and when you're ready to say, how can I save more time with a lot more things than just formatting, that's what the full version is for. You can always get a 30-day free trial of that and then upgrade to a full purchase. Again, right now it's a lifetime. That may not always be the case, but for now it is. Thanks for watching and have an awesome rest of your day.